Welcome, guys. Joe Drake here with the Axiom Academy, and I'm so very lucky to have one of our former students. And as we were just catching up prior to hitting record, now just like amazing coach and trainer out there changing lives, Katie. Katie, how are you?
Hi, I'm great. I'm doing awesome. Thank you for asking.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And for those that are watching, yeah, I've gotten the benefit to get to know you over time and now stalk you on social media and know everything about you and your family, which I love. But
Great.
for those who are watching, just give us a little bit of insight, like who are you and what are you doing right now? And I say that like, how does training fit into your life? Just give us some perspective on what you're up to these days.
Yeah, awesome. So I'm in Seattle, Washington. I'm all the way across the country, and I'm a mom of two. And I decided personal training was a great next step for me after, many different transformations to my own body. And so, I went through the 30-day challenge and passed my NASM exam, and now I'm working the perfect amount of hours for me at a local awesome gym. So yeah, I'm doing group classes, small group personal training, and I'm seeing a lot of one-on-one clients that fill up my afternoon. So I just get to like meet a lot of awesome people, build a really great community, and help people meet their fitness and health goals. And it's awesome.
Love that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So tell me this too, because I know, you were a part of the 30-day version of kind of like our, let's call it our live virtual course where we get to have interaction like this.
Yeah.
But you were working on this process for a little while before finding us or before joining that. So
Yeah.
what were some of the challenges and frustrations that you had when you were doing this, more on your own?
Everything seemed like a challenge and a frustration. So I purchased my NASM online package I think it was like the end of January, early February. And come April, I had like maybe cracked chapter one because it wasn't, well, I wasn't making it a priority, but also it just felt overwhelming. Like, how am I going to get through all of this? And how am I going to retain it all, especially as like a 40-plus-year-old woman who hasn't been in a classroom setting or a test taking setting for 20 years. So I just kind of kept pushing it off. And, as a mom, you find other things that are more of a priority. So I just kept putting it on the back burner, putting it on the back burner. And then fast forward to June, and I was like, okay, now's the time. My test is going to expire in a couple months, and I either need to say, whoa, this isn't for me, or jump all in. And that's when I found Axiom and jumped all in.
I love that.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure as you were in that process, which first off, I'm sure a lot of people who are watching this can relate to some of the challenges that you just talked about. But with all the things out there, right? You get on YouTube, you get on Google, there's lots of resources, there's other courses. What is it about? Why'd you choose Axiom?
I did a lot of podcast listening, a lot of like Facebook stalking and Googling, YouTubing, trying to figure out like how to approach this. And honestly, I found the Axiom NASM Facebook study group,
Hmm.
which was awesome. Lots of good information there. And then that's when I really started seeing your name pop up a lot and kind of deep diving into some of the, um, helpful curriculum that you put out there for free. And then I hopped on a call with you. And I think that that was such a light bulb moment for me because I was like, okay, wait, Joe has all the tools that I need. And, I felt some guilt because I'm like, I already spent a bunch of money on this NASM test. And now I'm going to spend more money on a class to help me pass this test. And that just seems crazy because I'm smart and I can do this myself. But, I hopped on that call with you and I was like, if I could do it myself, I would have done it by now. Right. And so I think that there was just like an automatic rapport. I felt comfortable with you. And I was like, if there's anything that's going to get me there, it's this guy. So, yeah, I trusted you.
All right, I'll take it. I like it. And once you did, let's say let's talk about like from our conversation to you like jumping in and starting the process. What do you feel like if you could simplify maybe the biggest problem that solved for you? What was the problem that solved?
The problem was making time, right? So because of the 30-day challenge that I did, we had very set structure in like, okay, we're gonna have 2 classes a week. And I told myself I wasn't gonna do it unless I could actually commit to attending class. And I didn't miss a single one. And
Mhm.
so that was like the commitment and the timing that I needed to show up. And if I'm gonna show up for something, I'm gonna make sure I did my homework beforehand. So that was also like the catalyst to say, okay, I'm going to work through all of the information, all of the videos, all of the chapter review stuff. I'm going to, do all the practice tests. I'm going to make sure that when I show up, I've done it. I'm ready to be there. So it's really just like, I'm going to show up on Saturday mornings. I'm going to show up on whatever day it was, Wednesdays. And that was what I needed. I needed to put it on my calendar, pencil it in, and make sure it happened.
So some accountability.
Totally.
Yeah. I think we all need it in just different areas of our life.
I mean, that's why we're trainers, right? I mean, not 100% why, but like I have a trainer as a trainer. I
Yep.
need a trainer to hold me accountable. I hold my clients accountable. I needed a Joe to hold me accountable. So yeah.
That's great. And so what would you say if you had to like overarching, let's say like I'm not in the room, you're talking to someone else or like multiple people that are, let's say they were in the same position that you were in, what would just be your advice to them?
My advice to them would be whatever you choose to do to get there, go all in. And everyone's all in is going to look different, but you really get out of it what you put into it, right? So be ready for that. And if you're not ready for it, maybe wait until you're ready for that.
I like that. And how would you say that how has life evolved or changed since you took the course and got certified and now off doing what you're doing? Like how have things changed for you?
Yeah. So, I mean, I was hired shortly after I finished my certification, and for me, I did my exam on literally day 30 of the course. Like, if there's a test subject that is like, can you pass an exam in 30 days? Yes, you can. I
Yeah.
did. Um, so then I went on vacation and I came back and I started working immediately as a certified trainer. And so life has changed in that, like, obviously my schedule has shifted, but I also feel like my own fitness journey has changed like significantly because I practice what I preach, and I've always been one to go to the gym. But I feel like I've leveled it up a notch. I've learned
Yeah.
so much. I've learned so much, which is just like so exciting because I still have so much more to learn, right?
Yeah.
But that's just, making me an even better trainer.
I love that. I love it. I love it. And for any of you guys who are watching, if you can find Katie, follow her. She's great. I love all the stuff that you put out. I can definitely tell that your clients are lucky to have you in their life.
Thank
So I'm so glad that you got to this point too. But well, awesome. Well, honestly, I appreciate you coming on and giving us some of your perspective. Any final parting words for someone who's even like at this stage, like, is this for me? Is it worth me finishing all this process? Like anything else that you would say to them?
Yeah, I mean, I would say trust the process because there are, especially as you're working through NASM, there are chapters you're going to get to that feel so big and so hard and overwhelming. And you're just like, I don't have any sort of background in biology. How am I going to remember all of this stuff? And the thing is, you don't have to remember it all forever. You have to grab the things that make sense, fit that puzzle piece together. And you don't have to be able to speak the language, you have to be able to understand the language, right? So, like, when it comes to a test question, did you understand it? Great. Do you have to go back to your clients and talk to them about myosin? No, you don't, nor do they want you to. They don't, right? So it's like they don't need all that jargon. You just have to be able to interpret it, right? So when things feel really hard, they will eventually stick. You will eventually fit those puzzle pieces together. And then when you get further on in the chapters, don't worry, it'll make some of the former chapters be a little bit more clear and make a little bit more sense. Trust the process.
I love it. You rock.
Thank you. You Phantom